Welcome to Talking with Sapna. Today we're going to be talking connection, where we take a deep dive into what connection means, what it looks like, and how to create that deep, meaningful connection with your children, to understand them, to see what they need, to help them flourish and thrive in their lives. So, let's get started by thinking about what is connection? What does it mean to you? Because we all want connection. It's what we're looking for in every relationship we have, whether with a partner, with our family, with our children. We're all looking for that deep connection. But I don't know about you. When I was thinking about this idea of connection, what I found was that often it was a superficial connection that I had. And part of the reason for that was that I found I wasn't present. You know, we're so caught up in having to do this and this and this and this and this and running around here and there and, we've got so many things on our list to get done, that when we are talking with someone and we are trying to connect, we're not actually present. We're not 110% there because our mind is off thinking about other things. And I realized that I would come out of conversations with people, and no joke, but I would actually forget if I'd even say goodbye to them. I'd even forget the last line that I said to them because I wasn't present. And when I noticed this and shifted this in how I responded and reacted to people, what I found was all of a sudden our connection went from surface level to deep. There was more vulnerability involved in it, and it became more of a two-way relationship. Rather than one person trying to connect to me and I had my wall up, not on purpose, but because I just wasn't present in the conversation. So the first thing about connection is let's be in the moment. You know, there's that saying that put your mind where your hands are. We've got to be in the moment, because being present and in the moment, that allows for a deeper connection. So try it. Try it with your children, try it with your partner, try it with a friend. See how a conversation shifts when you're 110% present. See what you notice, because you'll pick up on body language, you'll pick up on those little unsaid words that are often there in a conversation, but we're not being present, so we don't hear them or see them. But beyond just being present, I've got another tip around connection that will help you with your children, or even your partner for that matter. You can use this technique on whoever you want. But there are 3 key elements to it. I like to think of it as OWL, and that's my acronym OWL. The first one is observe. Observe their actions, right? Often in a relationship, we're so close in that we don't give it the space to just step back and observe. But try it with your children. Step back and just observe their actions. What do they do? What don't they do? How do they interact with their toys? How do they interact with each other? How do they interact with other people? There is so much you learn about your children or another person when you actually just step back and observe their actions. With no judgment, with no thinking, but purely just observe it. Step back as a spectator. Pull yourself out of the situation and just look at those actions. Right? So first step, observe their actions. And you'll pick up the subtleties in how they operate. And then the second step in this is to watch their reactions. Children tell us so much by the way they react in a situation. Whether it's how they react when they're doing a puzzle or playing with their toys, how they react to their siblings or to the other parent. There is so much in those little reactions, those behaviors and actions that come out. One, it gives you an insight into intention. Yeah? Because when you see a behavior of your child or even of a partner, when you look beyond the behavior and the action that you see, what you'll often find is the intention is sometimes completely different. So that sometimes their intention is just, look at me, talk to me, but it comes out a lot more forceful than that. But when you watch their reactions, you start to pick it up, you start to understand actually how they react to situations, what body language, what words they use, and it starts to give you an insight into the emotions at play. And when you start to understand the emotions at play, you start to learn about their personality and their character. You start to learn different ways to actually work with them. But often what happens is we're so protective of our children that we don't want them to feel pain. We don't want them to hurt. We want to make everything easy for them. So we come in so close and so tight and we give them solutions. But often what we need to do is step back, open those boundaries just a little bit, have the boundaries, but give them a bit of wriggle room and just watch how they react and support them through it. Don't fix it, don't make it better, teach them. And when you step back and you watch their reactions, then you start to understand how you can actually guide them through it, how you can be the guide walking on this path with them rather than the person who has to fix everything for them. As a parent, you are not here to fix things for your child. You're here to equip them with the skills so they can learn to fix things for themselves. You are here to empower them. And when you observe their actions and watch their reactions, you start to move more into the guide and the facilitator who empowers them rather than the parent who has to fix things for them. And then the last part of the OWL acronym is listen to their words. Listen to their words. So often when our children talk, we have 101 things on our minds. And so we don't step back and just listen to what they're saying. And when you do that, when you step back and listen to their words, you can learn so much about them. You can learn about their mindset. Do they have that fixed mindset where they constantly say, I can't, it's too hard? Or do they have that growth mindset when they persevere, where they try and try again till they get something right? What's the language that they use? And importantly as well, what's the language that you use with them that they've taken on board? Is it positive? Or do you think it might limit how they operate? Step back and listen to their words. There is so much to be gained from just listening to the language our children use. So much. You learn about their mindset, but more importantly, you learn what their strengths are. You see them in a completely different light because all of a sudden you're stepping back and giving them the space to shine and to show you who they are. Not who you think they are or who you want them to be, but who they are. And bring these three aspects together. Bring the observing their actions, watching their reactions and listening to their words. When you bring those three aspects together and put that alongside with being present, what you notice is you see your child and the potential that they have. You step back and you realize things that you never would have seen by getting too close. And all of a sudden you've created this connection, this trust and respect, this mutual respect between the two of you, where all of a sudden your child opens up and shows you who they are because you are stepping back and giving them the space to show you that. And not only are you listening to the words they use, but you're watching them. Because those non-verbal cues that our children give are just as, if not more important than the verbal cues they give. So often when they're building a vocabulary and they don't have the words that they need, it's their body that tells us what they're trying to say. It's their body that shows you the emotion that they're feeling. So to build true, deep, meaningful connection in your family, not just that connection because we're physically together in that same space, but that emotional, physical, and mental connection, then I encourage you to use the OWL technique. Observe their actions, watch their reactions, listen to their words. And while you're doing this, remember to be present, be in the moment, and see how that changes the level of connection that you have with your children, your family, and your friends. Good luck. Can't wait to hear how it turns out for you.